Warnings of an impending nuclear attack will come via radio, TV, telephone, or text message. Carefully follow the instructions given in the warnings, they may save your life. Do not use your telephone or text messaging service as phone and data networks will be needed for official use. Immediately go to the lowest level of the building you're in. The basement or sub-basement of a high-rise building with 10 stories or more are good places to take shelter. Deep underground parking garages are also good provided they are situated directly beneath the building. If you are in a house or low-rise apartment or office building, head for the basement and take shelter there. If there is no basement, take shelter in a central room on the ground floor. In a high-rise building, the central room should be located on the middle floor. Do not shelter on the 2 uppermost floors as they will not provide enough shielding against the radiation from radioactive fallout that will start coming down 20 to 30 minutes after the blast wave passes. The central room must have only one door and no windows. By sheltering in such a room, you can avoid getting flash burns or being injured or killed by flying glass and debris that may be blown in by the blast wave of a nuclear explosion. Regardless of where you are taking shelter, wait at least 2 minutes for the blast wave to pass before emerging briefly to get food, water, and other supplies. At a minimum, your supplies should consist of a first aid kit, food, water, a battery-powered flashlight, battery-powered radio, and spare batteries. Once you have obtained these items, return to your shelter area and stay there. Monitor your radio for official news and instructions on what to do next. You will have 20 to 30 minutes to get these items before radioactive fallout starts coming down. Act quickly. In all locations other than the basement or sub-basement of a high-rise building, you will need to build an improvised shelter to increase your protection against radioactive fallout. You can build one using a heavy table or desk and boxes filled with books, papers, or other heavy, dense objects. Pile the boxes on top of the table and around all sides of the table or desk. Leave a small opening for entry and exit. The more shielding you can place between you and the radiation, the better your chances of survival. If the warnings of an impending attack say you have 30 minutes to prepare before nuclear explosions will happen in your area, use the time to get supplies and start building an improvised shelter. If you are with a group of people, delegate some members of the group to get food, water, and other supplies while the rest work on building a shelter. If there is no time to build such a shelter, remain in your shelter area and wait for the blast wave to pass before building one. Turn off supplies of gas and electricity. Fill up tubs with water and cover with wooden boards or cling wrap to prevent contamination from fallout. Fill up with water any jars, jugs, or bottles that have reclosable lids. Once you're in your shelter, keep monitoring your radio for official news and instructions. If it is not safe to stay where you are due to uncontrollable fires or severe structural damage, leave immediately to find better shelter. You will have 20 to 30 minutes to do this before fallout starts coming down. Radioactive fallout is dangerous and can seriously sicken or kill you. Avoid all contact with it. All exposure to radiation is cumulative. If you're outdoors and you hear an air raid siren or receive a phone call or text message warning of an attack, immediately go to the lowest level in the nearest and best shelter you can find. In some cases, the only warning of an attack you'll get is an unexpected flash of extremely bright light in the sky. If this happens, cover your eyes immediately. Don't look at the flash or you may be permanently blinded. Next, immediately drop to the ground and lie face down. If possible, cover your face, head and hands with clothing to prevent flash burns. If one is nearby, dive into a ditch or a culvert. Wait at least 2 minutes for the blast wave to pass. Then get up and find better shelter. If you're sheltering in a culvert, and no better shelter is nearby, stay there for at least 72 hours unless the need to find food and water is imperative. In 72 hours, most of the radiation will be gone, although dangerous hotspots may remain. Try to find food, water, and shelter as quickly as you can to minimize your exposure to any residual radiation. If you're driving and you see a brilliant and unexpected flash of light, immediately pull over and get as low as you can to protect yourself from flash burns, flying glass, and debris. After the blast wave passes, your shelter is more than a 30-minute drive from your location, and you have a shovel in the trunk of your car, you can build a car-over trench shelter as shown in the graphic. To begin, dig a trench that is at least 6 feet long and 3 feet wide. Next, pile as much dirt as you can in the interior of the car and the trunk. After filling up the interior, make sure all of the doors are closed. Then start piling dirt around the front, back, and sides of the car. Pile the dirt as high as you can. Remember to create a small opening so that you have good ventilation. Try to stay under the car for at least 72 hours if you can. unless you have no food or water with you and you need to find some. As a general rule, a car over trench shelter will block 80% of the radiation from fallout that lands on top of the car and around the trench. You have just seen the various immediate actions you can take to protect yourself in case of a nuclear attack. Thanks for watching. In our next video, we'll be taking a look at the effects of nuclear weapons.